Hey, we got George Drevis here with his first place deck profile at the Chicago Standard of Team League event. George, how did you do and what did you play?
So, I played Royal Paladins, and I played in Seat C. My record in Swiss was X3, and my record in top 8 was X1. So, 8 rounds of Swiss and 3 rounds in top 8.
All right, let's go to your deck profile.
All right. So for the grade zeros, we have the Forerunner, of course. I like to do 8 crit, 4 heal, and 4 draw. So I prefer this ratio in Royal Paladins as opposed to 6 crit, 6 draw, or 7 crit and 5 draw, because I like to get maximum damage output as early as possible, and you just want to finish your opponent off as fast as possible.
All right, the grade ones.
For grade ones, I like to run 4 Knight of Friendship K. So this card, definitely the best grade 1 in the deck. He lets you Superior Call Bedivere for just Counterblast 1, and it creates a 24k column. So hits for big numbers, makes your opponent have to drop at least a 15k shield from their hand, if not more if you get a trigger onto that column. Great when you had the Blaster Blade on Vanguard Circle. If you have Bedivere K, 2Ks in hand, and Blaster Blade, you can legit just ride Blaster Blade, use Bedivere, call K from hand, and then draw a card, use K skill, call another Bedivere, and it lets you filter out your deck so you can hit triggers more consistently. For the next grade 1, I run 4 Knight Squire Ellen. This card is also really nice because for just Counterblast 1, it lets you call any other card of your choice, and then usually you use this to call the main. You use this to call Dream Painter out, and it lets you filter a trigger back into the deck, or Blaster Blade from the drop zone back into the soul for your Exculpate turn, if you don't have them in soul already. So, really good card. Next grade 1 I like to run Wingle at 3. A lot of people like to do both Allen, and they like to do both Allen and Marin. So rather than having the 2 of them in the deck because it's too counterblast heavy, I like to run Wingle instead because early game pressure with this behind Vanguard and a full field allows for maximum output damage. And then the final card, of course, 2 of the Dream Painter. You don't really see him that much, but whenever you do, he really comes in clutch, lets you filter, triggers back into the deck, and then obviously the Blaster Blade for the Exculpate turn, and he gains power as well if you filter a trigger. Now for the main grade 2s, I run 4 Blaster Blade. I run 4 of the IMR because definitely my favorite artwork. And then everyone knows what Blaster Blade does. I run 4 Bedivere because definitely most amazing grade 2 besides Blaster Blade. Lets you call K if you have K in his hand, draw a card. If not, call him from the deck with K for free, makes you a free field. And then for the last grade 2, I like to run 3 Jaren because he gets an extra 5k while attacking the Vanguard. He hits really good numbers consistently. And I used to run 3 Galatine instead when I was originally testing because I liked the extra 10k shield. But I realized that Blaster Blade gets an extra 5k continuously from Monarch Sanctuary Alfred, so I might as well just run Jaren and get more power output. And then I run 3 King of Knights and 3 Monarch. So this is my ratio for the grade 3s. Pretty consistent. You'll get into King of Knights if you don't have Blaster Blade in the soul already or in your hand. You can call him out, and then next turn if you get into a Monarch, you can just filter him back if he gets destroyed on the field. And then Monarch is great because he allows for maximum power output with plus 15k, and then he lets you filter your Blaster Blade in. So this guy is definitely one of the key pieces of the deck. Gains extra crit too for Alfred and the Soul, so really, really great. And then the key card of the whole deck is Exculpate the Blaster. Without this card, I don't think the deck would nowhere be near as good as it is now. It's an insane card, legit. Counterblast 1, Soul Blast every other card except for 1. If you have Blaster Blade in the Soul, well, you need Blaster Blade in the Soul, otherwise you lose game after attacking with him. But he essentially destroys your opponent's whole field, destroys all the Excel matchups, really, really good against Force matchups, and he's your main win con against every Protect matchup. Whenever I go into him, I destroy my OTT opponents, and I destroy my opponents who play Angel Feather, because they legit have to drop perfect guards as fast as possible for this guy in Blaster Blade, who gains an extra critical. So couldn't have done it without him.
All right. Any last-minute words or any shout-outs you'd like to give?
So for shout-outs, I'd like to give a shout-out to my teammates, of course, to all my friends at Past Times who helped me train all the time, and to all my friends at Card Fighters Underground. Couldn't have done it without any of them. Really intense matchups from all of my friends, so couldn't have been here without them.
All right, thank you.